Good morning, guys, and welcome to a new adventure. Today we're in the state of Jalisco. We're near Los Compadres land. They're actually at the bottom doing some metal detecting. So right here, what we have, it's an old abandoned town, small little town. If y'all see, there's a house right there, another house, another one, a bigger house up here. And well, we're about to get to exploring this whole area, and we'll tell y'all a little bit about the story here. Let's get into it, guys. All right, guys, well, first of all, this big house is the one that caught my attention. Look at the size of this massive cactus, and there's the fruit growing on it. But yeah, this big massive house caught my attention, guys. Again, we come to this and I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what to think about it, because if I'm not mistaken, guys, this is the foundation of the house. From right here and up is where the house was. And look at the size of this door. Look, let me stand next to it. I'm short, guys. You see what I mean? How were you able to get into these houses? Were the people back then a lot shorter, or what was the deal? But let's go into this house. Here's one little room, guys. House made all out of Adobe, and it's nice and amazing. The rooftop is gone now, but yeah, guys, how were people able to walk in here? Was the foundation, was the door, did it go lower to the foundation, or how did it work? If anybody knows, please let me know, guys, because a lot of the times when we go to old buildings like these, the doors are just small. This door's a little bit bigger, but there's a bunch of weeds that are all dried up. All right, so basically the story here, guys, is that there was a family that used to live in this particular area. And that family, well, they were wealthy, they were of money. So that's why the whole family, I imagine uncles, aunts, grandmas, you name it, brothers, everything, I imagine they all came here and they all established, and they all made houses in this area, guys. Here's another little house. Amazing. And look at this tree, guys. It's some type of palm tree. I don't know exactly what type, but this was planted by somebody that lived in this area. Let's go over here and check out this other room. Look at this door. This door actually has the full frame. And look how they used to do woodwork back then. The hole, they used to make it flat, make a little square right there that would go into the other one. Wow, amazing, guys. That was probably their window at one time. Yeah. And look, Mother Earth, a cactus growing on their walls. Now we're entering into another part of another little house in the area. There's another house down there, guys. I wonder how many family members lived in this area, because if I'm not mistaken, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a total of like 8 or 9 houses in this area, guys. And well, now it's a ghost town. Nobody lives here. The houses are all just left in ruins. And also, our compa Ruba was telling us that there's a cemetery, or they believe that it could be the cemetery to this small little town. That cemetery is around here, and it's a cave that has a bunch of crosses into it, guys. But honestly, 2 videos ago, I think, or 3 or 4, I'm not sure when I'm gonna upload this video, but y'all seen how I had that nightmare at a cemetery, and it just seems so realistic. So honestly, Right now I'm trying to stay away from cemeteries, from air burial areas and stuff like that, guys. I'm not trying to bring any energies home because, okay, so after I told y'all about that dream, what was it, like 3-4 days later, I was at my house. I went to go lay down on my bed, and I felt somebody grab my foot. My wife was also laying down on the bed, so I thought it was probably my wife. I told her, hey, did you just touch my foot? She's like, no, I did not. I was like, what? I was like, maybe it was my daughter. So I go into my living room to see where my daughter was. She was laying down. My other sons, my other kids, they were at church. And well, I don't know who it was that touched me, guys, but it felt so realistic that lately I just been like, nah, I'll stay away from cemeteries. I'll stay away from burial areas and stuff like that, guys. Here's another house. I imagine this one was bigger. We'll come explore these in a minute. Let me explore this other big one. Also, Compa Ruba was telling me that somewhere in one of these houses, I've been trying to pay close attention and I didn't see it up there. So I'm guessing it has to be on these bottom ones, but he was telling me that somewhere in these houses, one of them has a basement. That the rooftop from this house fell and made a hole into the ground. Somebody came and explored this area. They seen the hole. They went into this basement of the house and they actually found some pots with gold. And he was telling me that that's an actual true story from some of the people here in town. But yeah, guys, all these walls, all these little houses are just left in ruins. Look at this one. This one still has the door. And look at this. This is the old type. Let me peek in there. It's all empty, guys. Look. The rooftop on this house is newer, so it's on that one. So maybe the current owner of this land uses maybe that one and that one to store things. And look at this one. Has the rod, it has the door, but look at the little arc on it. That's beautiful right there. And well, that house looks brand newer. So where is this basement, guys? Where is this basement? Maybe it has to be right there where I skipped. Look, there's the guys out there metal detecting, trying their luck with some silver coins. But yeah, lovely little place. Look, guys, and here's another door. This one's a little bit taller because I'm gonna be able to fit through it, look, perfectly. But some of the ones like up there, why are they so small? Yeah, this one they remodeled it. It's more newer. I'm not allowed to go in there because the door's closed. So yeah, which way did it go? I was up there. This way. So yeah, guys, imagine that. You're just out here exploring. Maybe these old abandoned houses caught your attention and you come to explore them. And when you come, you see a hole in the ground. You go in there and you find a treasure, which is usually what happens in old towns, guys, that are far away from the city. A lot of treasures are found, a lot of money's hidden, gold coins, silver coins, all of the above, you name it. Look at this, lovely, guys. And back then, I was earlier hearing that even bricks, they would grind up their gold into dust. They would make it into a brick and they would just make some kind of mark, or they would exactly know what brick it was. And later down the line, they would melt that brick down, separate the gold, melt it, and make it back into a little gold bar. Now that's amazing right there, guys. Imagine how smart they were, so they wouldn't get robbed by burglars or bandits in the area, you know. And look, here's concrete, guys. Here's concrete. I don't know if this is new or not, but look at this. If I walk forward, I'm straight gonna hit my head, guys. How? I consider myself short, guys, but why build the door that's a lot smaller? That's what I don't get. No tunnel. I mean, no basement on that one. Let's go on to this other one. Oh, I think, nah. I was about to say, I think I see it. But nah, this was probably like a kitchen, and this is where they most likely did fires, because look at the smog right there, the smog back there, and right there, all along there. So maybe this was like a little chimney or a little kitchen area. But it's just amazing, guys. I'm amazed by these. And another thing that I'm thinking, that if they found a basement on one of these houses, what makes you think that there's not another basement? This was probably at one point a little corral. Uh-oh. I think I found it, and I think I see what I was telling y'all, guys. I'll show y'all in a minute. But yeah, these are some lovely structures. There's another house over there, guys. There's just so many houses around this area. And, well, it's an abandoned ghost town. And look at that, guys. Look at that. I imagine that's the piece of rooftop that Ruba was telling me that came and fell. Yup. Look at the rooftop here, guys. That's what the rooftop looks like. So I imagine it fell. Boom. It hit here and then made this hole, and this hole is the basement. And if you notice right there, guys, it's not a natural hole. This hole was actually built by men. Look at the way the rocks are set up. Lovely, guys. And well, yeah, look, part of the roof was still standing. I imagine it was just like this over here. I'm gonna be careful with the way I walk through here, guys, because it could be that if I don't step correctly, or if I step somewhere where it's not strong enough, I'm just gonna go down with this. So I'm not even gonna get closer that way, guys. But I did wanted to show y'all that. It looks like maybe they made a little bench, who knows. But the rooftop, it was all like this, similar. It had that on top, which was a layer of concrete, just like this. And at one point I imagined the wood started to rot up. It couldn't resist the weight no more. And what happened? It came down, because look, there's part of the rooftop all over the ground right here, guys. All over. And there's also another piece of the rooftop. There's piece of the wooden beams up top. And there's this big rock that made this hole into the ground. So I guess the explorer, just like me, he went in there, he examined the area, and he was able to find some coins. Right now, I'm about to do the same thing, guys. And, well, I am going in there a little bit scared. But more than nothing, I'm thinking in my head, where was the original entrance to this basement? How were you able to get into this basement? Let me get flashlights and we'll go down there. Alright, guys. Got the flashlights. And, well, let's work our way down. Let's go down here, guys. I am afraid. Like I keep telling you. Why am I afraid, guys? I don't want to get trapped down here. I don't want this big old rock to fall on me. But we like the adventure. And we like to see new things. What I am seeing is that it's not that big, guys. Oh, wow. There's a bunch of little mosquitoes right there, guys. So maybe the person that lived here, little by little, they were digging this place up, this small basement, because yes, it is carved out by man. I can see all the chisel marks on the walls. Let me cover my face, guys. It doesn't smell bad. It doesn't smell bad, but look at all these flies and mosquitoes in here. So I don't even want to breathe. But yeah, guys, all this is carved out. If you look at that, it's all carved out. Has a bunch of chisel marks. But more than nothing, why is there so many flies in here? Why is there? Look, another small little hole. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just having a little bit of trouble breathing. I'm trying to also look up to see what I see, but there's so many flies in here. I wonder what that little hole was for. And I wonder where they found the pot at. Because according to Comparuba, they found the pot in here with gold. What do y'all think this was made for, guys? Look. Oh, my gauge fell out. What do y'all think this was made for, guys? Because look, all right here you can see the chisel marks on the walls. So this was definitely man-made. It wasn't natural. It's not like it just fell and the hole was already here. Nah, this was man-made, guys. What do y'all think this was for? Do y'all think it was actually like a basement, some type of hideout, or what was it? Because look, all those rocks right there, guys, I imagine that had to be the entrance. There had to be a top right there to lead you down. And maybe this was like a hideout, a basement, I don't know. All I could think right now is that it was a hideout, because back in those days, guys, there was bandits. People were getting robbed of their money. So people would want to hide. So maybe he had it set up so perfect that if you came into the house, you weren't able to see anybody. But the hole was right there. Amazing, guys. Wow. And this could have been where they probably sat down, like a little bench, I don't think. Or maybe, yeah, it could have been part of the rooftop and it rolled all the way over here. But I can see, because it's flat on the top, on right here on the base, I could see it being like a little bench for them to sit down here. Or who knows, maybe they even had a bed down here, guys. But look, it's all crumbled down now. Sticks and everything. And they keep falling. But yeah, guys, this is a lovely, lovely little basement hideout. I don't know. My mind's going 100 right now. But yeah, I want to say more than a basement, that it was a hideout, and it was to hide from bandits, from burglars. Because look, nowhere else is there any evidence that you could come in here. Nowhere, guys. I'm studying the whole area and there's no way. Look, right there, it got to the corner and then they split it this way. And there's another split right there. That's why I want to say, and because of the rocks that are right here, that this was the main entrance. There was like a little hole right there, a little circle, little square. Who knows? Let's get out of here, guys, because there's a lot of flies. And look, this is what I was telling y'all. The setup of the rocks. This is not natural. Somebody did this, guys. But what was the purpose? More than likely, I want to say, and I'm going to leave this place saying that it was a hideout. Amazing, guys. Let me get out of here. Oh, you scared me. I'm walking now and I see Oscar right there. I'm like, oh. But yeah, guys, it's a lovely little abandoned town, ghost town, you can say. And I want to say that was a hideout, guys. What you found so far, brother? Nothing? Alright, guys, well, let me see what else I'm able to see around here, and I'll let y'all know. Look, guys, and apparently there's a few houses all over. There's another little house over here, and look at this gigantic hole. This right here in Mexico, they call them honoria. More than nothing, it's a water hole, and they used it to store water. They would fill it up to a certain level, and they would have water majority of the times. And look, it's a bit deep. It's not as deep as other water holes that I've seen, but it is a little bit deep, guys. And man-made. Lovely area, guys. Well, I don't know, guys, but since we got here, that first field over here has been calling my name. Let's go see and find out if we could get some coins right there. Alright, guys, and we didn't even dig that much, and we got the first coin of the day. I'm not sure what it is. And it's a Josefa. These are very common in the area, guys. And if I'm not mistaken, it's from 1968, 5 cents. Look at that, guys. First coin. I knew you were calling me Phil. Alright, guys, well, we got the first coin of the day. Let's continue. Alright, that's it from this adventure, guys. Y'all seen the little small ghost town behind me, and we did a little bit of detecting. We found that little Josefa, and I'm going home happy, guys. I hope y'all enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment, guys. Till next time, peace.